Free agency, just good dudes, good players too. But I really feel like we've done some great things this offseason.
Adding people who are intangibly rich. And Travis, in fact, as a player, is rare. But as a person, he's also rare.
Gets away from one and superhuman pick from Travis Hunter. Put the cape on him already.
I think he has a great career ahead of him on both sides of the ball. If he's the best DB, is he the best wide receiver? Who knows? But is he a great playmaker on both sides of the ball? Yeah. Yes, he is. And at the end of the day, when you're a team like, us right now, who's in that stage of we have to get it right now. We need the best playmakers on the field at all times. And if he can give you that value, let's do it.
We need to go win football games. And right now, am I optimistic? Absolutely. But I'm also realistic. Like, hey, let's not break our arms, patting ourselves in the back, how great things are going right now. Because ultimately, it's about winning football games, and that's what we're focused on.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
Oh, we got that midseason focus right here on Jaguars Today. Welcome in, everybody. Training camp continues without the fans in attendance, but the guys back out in pads for the second consecutive day. Good morning. I'm Mike Dempsey, joined by Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark. Tony, how are things?
All good.
Are you wearing an easily tear-away uniform or anything? Can you switch from like analyst to play-by-play to host to whatever?
Yeah.
On a whim?
Yeah, I don't have to change the uniform for any of that, luckily. But
you don't even really have to change microphones.
Yeah.
Just, change your mindset. But Travis Hunter was out there today with the teal, which is the offense. Offense wears teal, defense wears white. Mm-hmm. But he had the white penny on.
Yep.
So he started today doing defensive kind of one-on-one drills. Just not even one-on-ones, just defensive drills where they'll have a cornerback backpedal, plant his foot, break towards the line of scrimmage, he'll throw him a football, and anticipating making a play on the ball, that kind of thing. Just trying to ingrain a little muscle memory. So he started out doing that. So I'm like, okay, this will be interesting because Brian Thomas apparently doesn't feel well today, and he's sitting out with an illness at practice. And I'm thinking, okay, team, this will be interesting because you wanted Brian Thomas or Travis Hunter to start on the offensive side. Nope, he was there on offense, just went into the phone booth, changed into the offensive gear, just basically took the penny off. So he was out there, and then they broke up the first team session that I was able to stay for, and they went to one-on-ones, red zone one-on-ones, receivers and cornerbacks, and he was back on defense on that. So, just a little taste. He's going to be all over the place, and it's not a surprise. What the surprise is when we hear people saying, well, Liam Cohen said he could win offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
That must mean they're really serious about playing in both ways. Oh, really? What was your first clue? Was it the 2 firsts and a second-round pick that they used to go up to get him? Or every proclamation they've made since then that's exactly how they intend to use him?
Yeah, there's obviously no surprise in Jacksonville.
No.
That's exactly what they're trying to do is figure out how they're going to be able to use him as much as they can possibly use him. I personally wouldn't be surprised. When do you think will be the next practice that he doesn't have to have the penny ready? Right? Like I don't know how far away we are from that even. It's going to be every day for Travis Hunter. He's going to have the penny ready because he's going to need to be able to work on both sides. Certainly when they're getting ready for game week.
It's interesting, though, right? Because he does need to work on both sides. But at some point, too, does, longer NFL season, he's a human being. Does he need a little rest? Like, does the accumulated snap count get to him a little bit, and maybe you do give him a practice or two off throughout the course of the regular season?
There may be that kind of thing, but that would be like a practice or two off. I can't imagine him being on the practice field at any point from here going forward without the penny being ready.
Both, yeah.
Like that's the nature of what they're trying to do with him.
Well, and the more importance he has in terms of his place on the depth chart on defense, he's already listed as a starter on offense. And, by the way, Parker Washington doing a nice facsimile of a starting wide receiver today out at practice, taking advantage of his reps, had a beautiful catch, split double coverage, first pass play of team from Trevor Lawrence, right down the middle of the field. Trevor threw a nice ball. Parker Washington elevated between two guys, went up and got it. Would have been a 40, 45-yard completion. It was a really nice play. Yeah. But, if you're rolling along and you've got Tyson Campbell healthy, and you've got Jordan Lewis healthy, and you've got Jarian Jones healthy, and Mark-Tarek Brown is healthy, and you've got all these options, and they're playing well, and it's not like maybe at that point, Travis Hunter is playing packages, whatever. I could see there might be some weeks where he specializes on one side of the ball a little bit more. But, yeah, for the most part, you got to get him acclimated to what he's going to be doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, and at some point here, they're probably still 2 weeks away from it being ramp-up time for Carolina, right? Like they're still going through the evaluation and so all these different things are still going on. And I don't know if you saw the numbers. Mike DeRocco, he's out there actually keeping track of all the snaps for Travis Hunter out there, which good for him, man. It's an interesting angle on all this. It's what's going on with Hunter. But he tweeted out some of the stats about this yesterday, and it is interesting. They're not in ramp-up time yet, and these numbers kind of indicate that, right? Because one of the tweets that he put out, total Travis Hunter snaps through 10 camp practices, 215 snaps, 118 on offense, 97 on defense, 7 on 7, 18 snaps, 11 offense, 7 defense, 11 on 11, 197 snaps, 107 on offense, 90 on defense. Jags have run 586 total snaps. So Hunter has been on the field for 36.7% of the snaps to this point in camp. Again, those numbers are going to go up as we get closer and closer to week 1. Obviously, the starters on either side of the ball are not going to be getting 36, 37% of the snaps, right? Like, that's not the way that's going to work. Like, that number's obviously going to ramp up, but it does tell you they're getting them work basically evenly on both sides of the ball to this point in training camp. That is where they're going with this for anyone that's doubting it.
Right. Quite honestly, when you say only 36% of the snaps, it's amazing to me. I was talking with Tom McManus about this, how much they rotate first and second team in the team period. It's like you get 3-4 plays and the second team offense is in there. Like, are you tired? I don't at what point does that become, like we hear regular season, starters getting 90-95% of the reps back there. You get a break every once in a while. So you're moving towards that. But right now, still spreading things around. Like the vote today, spreading things around between the offensive and defensive lines. Your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which of these position groups are you most concerned about? Put that in all caps so everybody knows what I'm asking here. For the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars, defensive tackle is leading the way, but at about an even split with interior offensive line and offensive tackle combined. So people worried about both lines of scrimmage in almost equal measure. Safety at only 6.5%. I think they've developed some good options, but I think that was the other likely position group to put in the poll. So you can vote there if you'd like on today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day on Twitter. You can, of course, call the program at 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Stream us in the YouTube virtual studio. You can check us out there and post your thoughts. Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
How many two-way players we got at Baldwin there, Dylan? How many guys playing both sides?
This race is going to be everybody.
Pretty much everybody?
Yep.
Short roster? Mm-hmm. Not impressed with Travis Hunter whatsoever. We do it every day.
Yeah, we call this Tuesday.
That's right. That's what we do at Baldwin on the west side. All right. We got Jamal St. Cyr about an hour from now. Saw him out of practice. He'll give us a full recap. The savant when it comes to tweeting the minute-by-minute TikTok of what's happening out there at practice. Got a bunch of Jaguar audio to bring you today, and we'll talk about concerns, where things stand heading into the first preseason game of 2025 coming up this weekend. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, here with you on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Hayes Carline is our special agent. He goes into the locker room to uncover insights about your favorite football team. His mission is to bring it back to you on 1010XL. Special Ops support by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Their hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Awaken 180 weight loss.
Jaguars Today, Wednesday.
Experience the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra as they bring to life the legendary sound of Journey.
Took the midnight train going anywhere.
Feel the power of Faithfully. Rock out to Wheel in the Sky and sing every word of Don't Stop Believing. Friday, August 8th at the historic Florida Theater. One epic night of the Jacksonville Rock Orchestra featuring Journey. Get your tickets at floridatheater.com.
If you need a game plan for the weekend, I'll tell you my takes for some of the weekend's best options. 1010XL's Dan Hicken here. Watch for Musings with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Turned On by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to american-electrical.com and see how they can help you.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Well, Tony, I was just looking at some of the most recent tweets from practice from Jamal St. Nick Mullins is having a tough time of it out there in this most recent period. Nick Mullins, the Austin Trammell pass complete, but stopped by Jordan Lewis. That's the highlight. Mullins to Trenton Irwin, incomplete. Jarian Jones' pass breakup would have been a pick six if he had held on to it. Mullins would be sacked from Devon Hamilton, and Nick Mullins' pass intercepted by Eric Murray. Easy pick. So those were the last four plays for Nick Mullins out there. Stay healthy, Trevor. All right, is a big key to everything we're trying to get accomplished. Yes. Like they're saying to every starting quarterback.
Sounds like the number one defense tearing up the number two offense. Yeah,
it does sound like that. Yeah, right. So hey, look, again, glass is half full for one. It's half empty for the other one. You would sometimes, though, for me, if you have a day where, as Trevor Lawrence said, they kind of struggled, they're out of sync, what have you, you want that side to bounce back the next day. And again, in team early on, I thought Trevor threw the ball pretty well. The big play to Parker Washington had another one would have gone for 15, 20 yards. I try to count, the like 5, 10, 15. And sometimes you get off because things are moving around and where the line of scrimmage actually started. But he would have hit a couple of chunk plays there, threw the ball pretty well, I thought, in one-on-one. So we'll get some reaction from Liam Cohen after practice. Everyone, though, Tone, has raved about the impact that Jordan Lewis has had on this football team. And, is talking with Mark Duffner, who's going to be doing some stuff with XL Primetime coming up. And he talked about, what a valuable asset it is to have a guy who can so seamlessly go between nickel and outside corner and play them equally adeptly. And that, which it looks like he's been doing at practice today. And I think if you and I had discussed this a month ago or done a poll or whatever a month ago, like in terms of the free agent additions to this team, Patrick McCarry would have been at the top of the list for people, right? Because of the contract. Yes, the versatility as well. I'm hearing Tone, really don't be surprised if Chuma Edoga beats him out for that right guard spot. And McCarry then could be in the mix to be the swing tackle or really maybe the swing piece, no matter who has an injury on the offensive line, because he does have that great versatility. But that's probably not what you're paying over $10 million a year for, is to have the guy come in. But, and Chuma Edoga's not exactly, flush with a bunch of Pro Bowl nods in his career. So kind of a journeyman. But look, again, you don't reward or award the starting position just based on contract, obviously. But I do think people were trying to follow the money with that one and assume that McCarry was maybe as locked in as anybody. And right now, probably out of the presumptive starting five, has the shakiest grasp on the chance to start on opening day of any of those guys.
Yeah, it makes me chuckle a little bit just how much, if it does wind up going that way, and McCarry isn't necessarily a starter along the offensive line, right? Like, they did spend the money that they spent on him. And if it does go that way, it's like, well, good on Gladstone for not interfering with, I paid this guy, put him on the field. Right? Like, that would show that definitely that's not what's happening. He brought him in. They competed. The right guy, they feel like, won the job. Like that kind of like staying out of the way. But then there's the, well, why'd you pay him X?
What about the evaluation?
That's the offense versus defense and training camp thing. Like, it works with a bunch of different areas that kind of way, but we'll see how it works out with McCarry. Nothing's been decided yet.
By the way, they're paying De'Ami Brown $10 million, but he generally has looked like a guy that is worth the money when he's been out there.
Hadn't been a reason not to put him on the field right now.
Coach Duff was very excited. He's like, man, he thinks this receiver group can play with anybody in the league. If they're all healthy and playing at the top of their game. Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, De'Ami Brown, Parker Washington continues, as we said, to show out. Joshua Cephas makes a play that you notice almost every single day out there. And how often do you really go to your fifth receiver anyway, right? So you feel like, all right, if it gets to that point, and we have seen guys flash in the offseason, make the team, and then not do much in the regular season. So,
if you get to that point, you hope it's because Parker got hurt. Right, like you don't want one of the three to get hurt, and that's why we don't want anybody to get hurt,
or just that Cephas is just playing so well that he's got to get some opportunities. But that's tough to do when you're that far down the depth chart.
Yeah,
to prove that,
no doubt,
once you go into the season in that position. But to circle back to the beginning point here, Jordan Lewis probably right now universally be seen as the best free agent addition that they've made so far, based on the impact that he's having. With this team's moxie, with their confidence, with his playmaking. He's, had an interception in the in-stadium scrimmage, picked off Trevor yesterday, has been around the football a lot and lets you know about it. And they like the, kind of the chess piece aspect. I don't think a lot of people thought that if you opened up in a two-corner base set, not a nickel situation, that he'd be likely one of the guys on the field. And he seems to have played his way into that position where it would be a surprise at this point. So here was Liam Cohen speaking after practice yesterday on the impact that he's seen so far from Jordan Lewis.
See, it's every day something, right? It's every day it's making a play, right? And there's only so much, right, within a scheme that you can teach and coach. Ultimately, they have to go out and make plays. And he just continues to be a steady, consistent professional that communicates at a high level. He brings a calmness to our back end. He brings a playmaker to our back end and a great leader for the guys to be able to continue to listen to back there.
And think about this. How many plays do you actually make as a corner during a game, right? I mean, you want to be in good coverage, right? But how many times do you actually get your hands, knock a ball down, right? Maybe a couple, right? I mean, a big day, it's like 3 pass breakups is a big day when you get your hands. If you have an interception every other week, that's a tremendous year.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about 8 or 9 picks over the course of a season. You're probably a candidate for defensive MVP in the league. So to show up every day in practice and have some kind of a noticeable play is a pretty good sign.
No doubt about it. Hayes caught up with Foye Oluokun after practice yesterday, and Jordan Lewis kind of is the talk of camp right now. He has been a standout out on the field, and Hayes asked Foye what Jordan Lewis brings to the defense.
You know, as a nickel, you got to be very savvy. You got to know the game. I think he knows football a lot. He knows football. He's playing, similar systems or whatever, but he's brought what he's learned from the past to the game, and, he's able to recognize routes quick, and he's still got great twitch, and he's a very physical player. I like playing with him, and very dependable for me. So, ball's going his way. I know he knows what to do.
Yeah, there's that, right? I mean, it's not like he's been this interception hog throughout his career, but 10 picks is not a tiny amount either. And, again, this is a guy that James Gladstone has talked about. Hey, we liked him when we were with the Rams. We're looking for ways to get him. I don't know if that was free agency route, trade, or whatever, how aggressively they went down that road. But this is a player that James Gladstone has had on his radar for a while. So when he had the opportunity, he went out. I believe, was he the first guy that agreed to terms? Among the first.
Free agency, yeah.
Yeah, was he? He was certainly early that afternoon. He was one of the first guys I remember them agreeing to terms with. Eric Murray was pretty early, too, in that whole process. But it was pretty clear they prioritized bringing in Jordan Lewis. Let's hope they're right. I mean, it looks like they're right so far in camp. Again, camp doesn't tell the full story. More on the Jordan Lewis story, though. Hayes Carline with Josh Hines Allen. This was actually from a couple of days ago. I think this is after Sunday's practice, but it still bears repeating on the veteran leadership aspect of what Lewis brings to this football team.
I mean, it's awesome having him. You can see the vet leadership that he has. You can just see the everydayness. So, the play that he made in the scrimmage, he's done that in practice. So he's a true testament of you practice the way you play. And every day is like this. He competes. He's a hell of a competitor, and he only pushes me to go even harder. Because I know if he's practicing like that and translating it to the game, man, I'm not going to be not doing what I'm supposed to do. So I can put it on tape and let him know that you're not the only one, and you're going to push me to become a better player, so I can push others to become better players, and that's how we become the number one defense in the National Football League.
Your primary role as a player is to play. Does that? I mean, it's as common sense as can be, right? But the secondary impact, like, what kind of impact can he have on Jarian Jones, Stone? A guy who played nickel for this team last year, wants to play outside, thinks he can thrive as an outside corner, but may one day be one of those guys that the Jags are comfortable with. Hey, we'll slide you all over the place. You know what? If we need you at nickel, we'll play you there. Obviously down the road, we think Travis Hunter, if he backs up his potential, is going to be a starter on this team. But, guys get hurt. Jarian Jones, can you play as a starter on the outside? Can you move and transition into nickel? Can you do the things to take care of your body as well and have that attitude and learn from some of the savviness of the things that Jordan Lewis has seen, learn by example as opposed to just going out there and getting your brains beat in? I'm sure Jordan Lewis got burned plenty early in his career. Yeah. Everybody does, right? But he's learned along the way how to play angles, how to play techniques, and hopefully that has a positive impact on the rest of that room.
Well, and Lewis is a player that was, I'm looking at it now, he was a third-round pick there in Dallas in 2017. He did
Jones.
Right. He played in a bunch of games, right? Early in his career, he played 15, 15, 16, 15, 16. So he played a lot, in those first years. But he didn't start double-digit games until his fourth year in the league, right? Like, it took time. before he had earned whatever it became for Jordan Lewis there in Dallas. And he was a guy that when he left, there were a bunch of people going, oh, dang it, we lost him. Like, that's the way Dallas reacted to him being gone.
Mm-hmm.
They were bummed that he didn't come back to the Cowboys. There is something to that, I think, with whatever he can do to kind of keep Jarian going in the right direction, right? Like, there is something to that because this is a player that he came in as a third-round pick and wasn't handed anything. Took a little time for him to earn whatever his role and his reputation was going to be in the league. That doesn't mean you can't earn it.
Right.
Right? Like, it's still in front of you, Jarian. Just go. Go to work every day.
Right. Still maximize your earning potential.
Right.
Down
if you
the
want
road.
to know how I got here, watch me practice today.
Yeah.
That's how I got where I am now.
And again, that's the secondary benefit, right?
Yeah.
You got to be a baller. You can be as heady a player, seen it all, be able to pass that along to the next generation. If you're out there getting beat, A, nobody's going to listen to you, and B,
the next generation will take over.
Right,
yeah.
you're really not helping the team out, and that's not been the case so far with Jordan Lewis. So let's hope he keeps it up. He's been one of the bright spots of training camp, to be sure. Yesterday, not a bright day for the offense. We'll hear some thoughts from Trevor Lawrence on how they can bounce back and what he hopes to see over the course of these preseason games, and including Saturday. Don't know if we'll get to see much, if any. Trevor Lawrence would like to play. Expects to play somewhat, but that's still not officially been determined. So we'll get into all that coming up. If you want to be a part of it, 641-1010 on the Checkmate Coatings phone lines, about 45 minutes away from Jamal St. from Channel 4, giving us a full camp report from this morning. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you. Jaguars Today rolls on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Son Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle & Sons. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. CoyleJacks.com.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, why is it that when you look at how long a store has been in business, that it always seems to be the stores like Underwood's that sell fine quality that have been around the longest?
Frank, that's a question that really doesn't get asked a lot, but it should be. There are a number of reasons, but probably the biggest is because of the endorsements our longtime customers and their pieces of jewelry have given us through the years. You see, when you sell really fine quality jewelry, that piece will last longer and always stay beautiful. It might stay in the same family for generations, and through those years of wear, a lot of compliments will be made and a lot of people will be told where the piece of jewelry came from. You see, at a store like Underwood's, it's our stated goal to be the best jeweler in the South, not the biggest, so everything we do and carry has to help move us toward that goal. And ultimately, it's the satisfied customers wearing fine quality jewelry that have kept Underwood's in Jacksonville since 1928.
Underwood's in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is Hayes Carlyon for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. I also go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
That's exactly right. That's what's coming right now. More Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Little pre-thriller Michael for you right there. We got hopefully a thrilling Trevor Lawrence season coming our way, Tony. Look at that transition right now into Trevor Lawrence audio. Jamal St. will join us at about 11:15 this morning. Get his observations from practice today. I don't get to stay for the whole thing, but the early couple of shots I saw, the first team offense with Trevor operating in team drills, thought the protection was decent, and he hit Parker Washington with the big play that split the seam. I think it was Dewey and Tyson in coverage, so this wasn't a cheapie. And then hit Parker Washington on another good play for about 15, 20 yards a little bit after that. And again, no Brian Thomas today. Travis Hunter's going both ways, flipping back and forth between offense and defense. So let's start with some of Trevor's thoughts on where the offense stands and how it's been going. And first off, the whole preseason thing. He did say he expects to play Saturday. He's not sure. He's not in charge of that. But how much does the preseason actually help him get ready for the real thing?
I think it does help, just from the standpoint, especially as a quarterback, you can get hit. It's, all off season and all training camp, you can't get hit. So sometimes there's a different time clock in the pocket. You try to always play it real in practice, but sometimes you kind of hang on to the ball and take a little bit more chances in the pocket because there's no consequences. But when you're live, it's a little different. So it's nice to feel the time clock sped up, to feel the communication with the whole offense, with the offensive line, protection, just live full speed reps. I think it is valuable. I think you got to be smart too, though, as far as how much you play and all that stuff. That's for, coach and all them to figure out, and for us just to do our job. So I do think there's value, though.
Yeah, and for me, it's just hold your breath because you want him to get reps. They need reps. He's not, a multi-time Pro Bowl quarterback stacking up near MVP type seasons that you're just not worried about. Hey, he's got the offense down cold. We're ready to go. Just protect him till we get to the regular season. But you do have to protect him to a degree, Tone. But I think the big thing he's talking about, we all see it when we're out there. You see a play breakdown, and you're like, would he really have had time to get that off? Trevor Lawrence, I can't find anybody that I'm talking to that wants the Jags to succeed that doesn't think Trevor Lawrence needs to tuck it and run a little bit more. You don't need to become Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson. You just need to have that threat and have the pressure it puts on the defense. Mark Duffner's seen it from the defensive side as a coach in the NFL. Talking to him today, he's like, man, when he was in Cincinnati, just talking to Burrow, just doing it once or twice a game puts such a stress on defenders because now that's a whole nother level of stuff you got to worry about. Trevor's obviously a good enough athlete that he could pick up 2-3 first downs a game with his legs. Extend drives. Let's go.
Yeah, obviously you expose yourself, and that's something we've heard Trevor talk about before. Even in this offseason, he's talked about you got to figure out, is it worth the extra 3 yards to take that shot or just step out of bounds, right? And you got to be smarter in those kind of moments. It was him running last year that got him hit and the concussion and all that happened, right? Like that was him taking off, right? And the slide was not late necessarily. That was a dirty play by a dirty player.
You can get that dirty play in the pocket, though, too. You know what I mean?
Can.
And I get it. When you're out there, it increases the chances. But I think more often than not, if you get down in a timely fashion, you're not taking that blow-up hit.
No.
Right? I mean, it does happen, but then it stands out when it happens. And you can get a dirty hit or an unlucky, unfortunate hit in the pocket compared to what you've seen from Trevor Lawrence rushing in the NFL, Tone. Do you think we'll see he is high in 2023 was 339 yards? Does he top that this year?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised. My expectation is that he'll be around that number again.
Yeah, and he did as a rookie. He was 334, so that 291 in his second year. I think something in that 300 to 350, maybe even up to 400-yard range, and the threat in the red zone. He has rushed for 14 touchdowns in 4 years, and that's not, that's missing a good chunk of games last year as well. Still ran for 3, had run for 9 in the 2 years prior to that. So that's an area where, again, you open things up. Everything condenses. If you've got the ability to kind of they've got the play covered and they're not accounting for you, put that extra pressure on the defense.
No doubt about it. Trevor, also, it's kind of an evergreen topic whenever we have anyone on that's been out of camp, right? We ask him, how has Trevor looked in camp to this point? So why not ask the man himself? He was asked to assess his overall performance so far in training camp.
I think I've, made some huge strides from the spring as far as just in the system and being comfortable playing fast, getting through progressions, letting it rip, especially across the middle and anticipating some throws. I think it's been a lot better than the spring. So, I think going into today, I was pleased with just my progress. Not necessarily overall performance, but just I felt like I was really just playing better every day, and I think that's what you want to do. And today, obviously, had a little bit of a rougher day, so we'll have to watch it and just learn from it. And it's the same thing. Even if you don't perform how you want to, you got to learn from it. So, just taking all the coaching points and all the stuff I can from each day and trying to make the corrections the next day and play better.
Yeah, and look, you're going to have a bad day on occasion. What do you do to bounce back and kind of rectify it is a big thing. And a big part of Trevor Lawrence's hoped for improvement, because, again, none of this really matters until the games matter. And it's all well and good that we're cleaning up the footwork and the mechanics and the anticipation throws are there for us now. Does he carry that into the regular season? But specifically was asked yesterday if the footwork is coming along and feeling a little bit more natural at this point.
Footwork becoming more natural, tying my feet with my eyes, and then just seeing the concepts, because I've seen them now 3 or 4 times installed, and you feel more comfortable. You know what the backside is going to look like, what gets you off the front side, and you kind of just play a little bit quicker. But there's still some of that muscle memory that sets in from some of my old footwork and drops and stuff that I just have to continuously just work and in Indy and in team drills, and while we're in practice and it's not live bullets flying, this is the time to fix it. And we've made some good progress, but there's a lot more work to do.
The connection with Brian Thomas Jr. has not been a loud issue to this point in camp, but it's a little noisy, right? Like it hasn't been maybe what we might have expected it could be, for him going into year 2 with all the expectations on Brian Thomas Jr. going into year number 2. And Trevor was asked yesterday about whatever issues there might be, however minor they might be, with the connections with Brian Thomas Jr. to this point.
Yeah, this is something where timing with receivers is so important. Chemistry, that connection, all that stuff, and then when you change offenses, it kind of resets a little bit because there's new routes and there is some carryover for sure. Everyone does similar things, but just the communication and talking, I think we've made some big steps since the spring. And you got to think too, we didn't get to play a full season together, so we've been trying to build that and be just in lockstep and always know each other's thinking. And when we get those one-on-ones, making all those plays, giving them opportunities, always giving him a chance to get his hand on the ball. And has been some frustration, I think, from both of us, and just offensively, because there's been some where, I might miss a throw, I might not make a contested catch, maybe they push coverage to them, and there is days where it's a little frustrating, and that's stuff you work through in practice, and we both expect a lot out of each other, and I think that's the cool thing about our relationship is we expect to make all those plays. So it's frustrating when you don't, and like I said, we just got to keep working it and he's such a great player. You just keep giving him all the opportunities and putting the ball somewhere where he can get it, and always giving him a chance is really important.
More from Trevor Lawrence coming up, but reflect on what John Shipley said yesterday, a reminder, right? It was kind of at this point last year when Brian Thomas started to take off in practice, right? It was like, everything, nothing bad, but nothing spectacular. And then it was like it all just kind of clicked into place. And keep in mind, Trevor missing the last 7 games last year. That's a lot of opportunity for building chemistry that went by the wayside between these guys. So there's definitely been some frustration from Brian Thomas Jr. I'm sure he was frustrated he couldn't be out there at practice today. Sick, illness is what it's described as day to day. Shouldn't be a major concern or any kind of concern going forward, at least from what we know at the moment. Again, more from your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, coming up. Jamal St. Cyr, a little over 30 minutes away. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. It's a new season.
I like where this team's headed.
A new era.
The fan base has been great.
A new hope.
We're all here to win.
Yes! This is where the dream begins. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Saturday at 7 on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnikChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Helping you over the hump. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weight Loss Wednesday continues on Jaguars Today.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 5th, 1936, Jesse Owens wins the 200-meter dash, getting his 3rd Olympic gold medal in the Berlin Olympics.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
What Major League Baseball team has never been to a World Series? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Seattle Mariners, who were founded in 1977, have never been to the World Series.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
The Coke Zero Sugar 400 returns as the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale. Answer this question for a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400, August 23rd. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who has the most victories in the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what? What the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 Weight Loss Maintenance Program. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Every single little thing. And the big things, too, we hope, certainly. And we're glad you're along with us here on Jaguars Today. Every day, we try to rely on our very intelligent friends in the media community. Jamal St. here among them, 25 minutes away. Our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Tony, which of these position groups are you most concerned about? I'm not surprised defensive tackle is leading it as a single position group. Sure. With the injury situation with Eric Armstead, with Mason Smith not being able to practice. Austin Johnson's coming in. He may have a big role right away on Saturday night. Immediately. I mean, these guys are not going to be ready to go Saturday for sure. So it's not a surprise that that is the leading vote getter, but it's more, to me, curious how close it is because we split the offensive line between interior and offensive tackle. Mm-hmm. And people right now say they're more concerned with the interior of the offensive line than they are with the tackle position. And that's a little curious to me because a lot of people have been down on Walker Little, man. I don't know. You know, I'm going to get a better evaluation when we see these guys go up against Pittsburgh as long as the first team offensive line unit plays. And you would think they'd get at least a couple of series in. At least certainly if Trevor Lawrence is going to play, those guys are going to be on the field. I probably have more questions right now about the moving pieces at tackle. Who are they going to settle on than I do interiorly? Like, to me, Makari, Chuma Adoga, I don't know if it makes a whole lot of a difference because everyone has told me that Adoga is playing very well, right? So I don't think it's like, hey, Makari was sidelined for about a week with the back spasms, out of sight, out of mind. Haven't heard much negative about Hainsey and Ezra Cleveland. From most reports, is having a pretty good camp, you know, and Wyatt Milam doesn't seem like he's an immediate threat to challenge for that left guard job. Again, we're a month out from the season. Things can change. So I guess I feel better about the interior of the offensive line at the moment than I do the offensive tackle group.
Yeah, I think it's I can understand from a perspective of the importance of the tackle position compared to the importance of the interior, right? And it feeling kind of unsettled as far as long-term, what to expect out of the two guys that they have starting at left and right tackle right now, and the reports about how they've looked out at camp to this point, which has been neither of them better than just, all right. You know, that's kind of been the reaction to both Walker Little and Anton, with a little bit less than all right with some of the reports on Walker Little. So I can understand from that perspective, given the extra importance of tackle versus the guards, right? Playing on your football team, why you not feeling rock solid about who's going to be doing that job as a player, not who it's going to be, but just the player itself that they're going to have in that position. I can understand why that could be a bigger area of concern just in general, because on a football team, it generally is.
Oh, like people are going to feel the way they feel, right? Yeah. And we're asking you, what are you concerned about? I'm not, there's no wrong answer here.
No.
It's your perspective. It is interesting at all these that safety still pulling 6% of the vote. I threw them in there just to have another option in the poll because I figured there'd be a few people go, well, what about safety? But I feel like the options that they're developing are
good,
are decent, right? Even with Ransaw on the sideline right now, if you've got to play with Dewey Wingard to start the year, Savage is still in the mix, and they are happy with what they're seeing from Eric Murray. I guess I'm not as concerned.
Yeah, I
about
feel like
that
they're
group.
going to land in a good place.
I hope so. Yeah. At least I'm not, and maybe it is just like we have a better feel for who the pieces are going to be there.
Right. And I do think part of that is it's good place in relation to I don't think it'll be a bad place. Right? Like, I don't think that they're going to have players on the field that they're going to be having the same issues they had last year at that position. I don't think that's going to happen with the options that they're currently evaluating for who's going to be playing these two safety spots. I don't think the very bad play that we're getting out of the position is going to be back on the field for him this year at safety. I'm very confident in saying that at this point for the team.
All right, we'll get more with Trevor Lawrence here momentarily. First, Tony Smith with a look around the rest of the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Indianapolis head coach Shane Steichen said yesterday that Anthony Richardson will start this for Week 1 preseason game against Baltimore, and that Daniel Jones will be starting their Week 2 preseason matchup against Green Bay, so not going to win the job this week, it doesn't sound like, for Richardson. Cleveland has announced that Shedeur Sanders will get the start for the Browns on Friday against Carolina. Carolina is holding wide receiver Hunter Renfrow out of practice as he continues to recover from a lingering hamstring injury. New York Jets quarterback Tyrod Taylor is having an injury to his knee evaluated. Jets tight end Mason Taylor will be out for some time with a high ankle sprain. Pittsburgh tight end Jonnu Smith left practice yesterday due to knee soreness. Who knows what that means for his availability if they even wanted to play him coming up on Saturday. Steelers corner Joey Porter Jr. returned to practice after missing a few days with an undisclosed injury. The LA Rams and running back Kyron Williams have agreed to a 3-year, $33 million contract extension. Tampa Bay is signing Teddy Bridgewater to a 1-year deal after a tryout and a past physical. Minnesota wide receiver Jordan Addison has been suspended for the first 3 games of the season for a violation of the league's substances of abuse policy.
All right, there you go. That's very formal. Substances of abuse policy. I hear, just reading camp reports that the Steelers passing game is, let's say, generously a work in progress, that it has not been clicking yet. So what the last thing you want to do, and I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers plays a snap, right, on Saturday, but even worse, Mason Rudolph come in and just go bing, 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 bing right down the field against first or second teamers. Don't want to see it. If your team is struggling, do not be the quick fix for your opponent coming in. Let's not try to squeeze in any Trevor Lawrence on this side, so we'll save it to the other. We'll get his thoughts on how Brenton Strange has been performing, and who else? Travis Hunter, of course. Get some thoughts on that. The rookie running backs and how they are coming along as well, and just what he would like to see from this offense when it comes to getting on the field versus an opponent in a different jersey on Saturday night against Pittsburgh. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, halfway home here on Jaguars Today. Jamal St. here about 20 minutes away on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Ever wonder what Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser did before the drill?
The new teen sensations, The Wonder.
Dan and Jeff.
Now that is funny.
I'm keeping their dreams alive. Mornings on 1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's class, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's class, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's class, you're gonna see a big difference.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday
On Jaguars Today.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In the summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. Whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. Hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Baker Glass. Jaguars have announced that they will wear the Prowler throwback uniforms 4 times this season. Week 3 against the Texans, Week 5 on Monday night against the Chiefs, Week 14 against the Colts, and Week 18 versus the Titans. Right now, 86 degrees at 11 o'clock, time in 10. Brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Tony, I think the Prowler throwbacks that RJ was just talking about there in the update give the fan base a psychological boost. I hope it has that effect on the players. And, I think when we were going through the possible games, I'm very happy with the games they decided to wear them here. Kansas
Monday
City,
night is awesome.
That, right? Kansas City, you knew that was going to be one of them, right? National showcase kind of situation. But then the division rivals each get a taste of the Jaguars in the Prowler throwback. So, if it gives any kind of psychological edge to the players, those are the most important games on your schedule. Those three even more so than the Kansas City game. But you knew it was going to be done for the Kansas City game. So
for sure.
One day we'll look back as the Jags make the change of permanence to those unis and go, why did it take them so long?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, really, if I hope I live long enough to see it because I think it will happen eventually.
Oh, yeah. I think Tony's pushing for it for whatever that's worth.
No doubt, right? And that's not inside information or anything. That's just me.
He said it.
Hoping that it looks that way, right? Yeah. He said it. He wants it exactly. But sooner rather than later. All right, let's get back to the quarterback of your Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. Was asked about a lot of the individual players that he has been working with, including Brenton Strange. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a touchdown catch in one-on-ones today before I left. I'm not 100% sure. I might have been thinking about somebody else there. But
I saw he had one in the last session.
In the last session.
Yeah, at least. He may have had one earlier.
That was
too.
probably after I was already gone at that point in time. But from Trevor's vantage point, when it comes to Brenton Strange, he said he feels he's getting more comfortable in this Liam Cohen offense.
More comfortable in the offense, playing faster, understanding what we're doing. And that's for all of us. Me seeing him quicker, getting the ball to him in some different scenarios where maybe in the spring I was not dishing it to him and getting backside or doing whatever. I think getting more comfortable seeing him in different spots in this scheme and knowing what to expect, how he's going to run certain routes. And I love Brenton, man. I've always loved how he plays really hard. He's a really good blocker. And then what he can do in space, too. He doesn't get enough credit for how good of a route runner he is, and very physical, great after the catch. So he's going to be a problem for us.
He needs to be. Right? Because I feel like those other guys don't give you much of that in the tight end room. Again, maybe I'll be wrong about that. Every once in a while, Hunter Long makes a play, and you're like, all right, I could see a little bit of athleticism there. He and Munt are big physical guys, and I think that's, they're going to catch that 117-yarder like Luke Farrell used to, and you go, well, why don't they ever go back to that guy?
Yeah.
But that's not really going to be a big role, I don't believe, for this team in this offense.
No, I don't think it will be either. I think Strange's role in the pass game can be as large as they want it to be. I don't think there's anything that you could throw on his plate that it would be like, why are you doing that? I don't think that exists for Brenton Strange. It's just a matter of how much they want to use him.
And right, because you got three receivers that you feel are going to click as a great unit, and you want to use your backs in the passing game.
That's what they want to feature.
And you want to run the ball.
Yeah.
Right? You want to run the ball. So, right.
And he loves the block. He wants to put a guy on the field. That's what he wants to do, too.
I think if Brenton Strange were to average 3 catches a week, that's a pretty big season. 51 grabs, I think would be that'd be about what I'm expecting.
Yeah, and he's a player that could be the 5 or 6 catch guy every week. If they wanted him to be, he could be fine doing it.
And he'll probably have a few of those games along the way. He'll probably also have some games where he's not really in the box score and he's just out there hopefully mauling people in the run game.
Yeah, I don't expect him to be featured necessarily a whole lot in the offense, but I think when they go to him, they're fine. With Brenton Strange, whatever they want to ask him to do, however big they want the role to be. Trevor Lawrence also was asked about, look, we know every fan, if they were polled, it would be 100%. Who are you excited to see on Saturday? What is this going to look like when they finally get Travis Hunter on the field in a game? And how's he going to be playing and where is a big question. Well, you can count Trevor Lawrence among those excited to see what's going to happen with Travis Hunter as they do get ready for a game situation coming up on Saturday.
Really excited. I mean, if Friday was a glimpse of it, I'm pretty, or we should all be excited to see him running around out there wherever it's at on offense, defense, hopefully more offense, throw one in there for us there. But just the way he plays, the energy he plays with, even just little things like interacting with the fans and just the juice he brings into the stadium, like that stuff does mean something, and not everyone necessarily has that personality, but he has something about him that's just, I don't know, it's just special, the way the energy he brings and the energy he plays with and the joy and all that stuff, the way he runs around, like it's fun to watch and it's fun to play with a guy like that. And I think he's starting to play a lot faster now that he knows the system and can play free.
Look, you can have energy and all that, but unless you can make plays, it's going to be calm down, right? Like nobody wants to get hyped by a guy who isn't making an impact out there. Travis Hunter obviously has the talent to make an immense impact on this football team. They need some juice, Tony. I think we talked about earlier, Jordan Lewis gives you some of that on the back end of the defense, and hopefully Travis Hunter, wherever he goes, will continue to bring that. The Jags obviously brought in a lot of running back competition for Etienne and Bigsby this offseason. We talk a lot about Basil Tootin and LaQuint Allen, but, Jaquindon Jackson has opened eyes, physical guy, the kind of guy that I think defenders are like, really, in pads? I don't want to see this guy coming through the hole because he's got nothing to lose, and he's coming 110 miles an hour trying to take your head off. What has Trevor Lawrence seen from the trio of rookie running backs?
They've been awesome. I think all three of them have had days and spurts where they've played really well, and then also as rookies, learning the system isn't easy, and they've done a nice job in the protections and knowing what to do and who to pick up. And but they've all made plays, running the ball or out of the backfield catching it, making plays down the field. They've all had their plays. So we got a lot of options, a lot of great options. A lot of them are young. So we got some juice in the backfield, which I'm excited about.
Trevor has made it clear that he would like to play on Saturday against the Steelers. No official decision in that regard has been made. We also heard him talking about the importance of preseason games and the live reps, the kind of experience that you get from doing those kind of things. He was also asked yesterday on just what he wants to see from the offense when they are out on the field on Saturday against the Steelers.
Just to play clean, no penalties, operation, in and out of the huddle quick, get up to the line, communicate, just play clean ball and execute whatever's there. Obviously the plan, not as much game planning when you're talking about preseason games, so not sure exactly the plan as far as what we're going to do, but whatever it is, it's stuff we've done all training camp, I'm sure. So just execution at a high level.
Yeah, it's kind of, we were talking to John Shipley yesterday about this, kind of earn the right to only play one series, right? Like go out there and feel like if you are going to play, and we don't know this officially, but if you do go out there, put some points on the board, right? Have a drive where you're at least picking up multiple first downs and you're moving the ball. You don't need to see, like stuffed, incomplete, 3rd and 8, and the receiver cuts inside and Trevor throws it outside. And you're 3, like that, what good did that do anybody? And then you get to that point, you're like, well, we didn't get anything good out of it. Do we stick him in longer? Do we bring him back for another series? Do we bring him back for another series? How long are we going to go until we can just have some success and we come out of this game feeling good about ourselves? And then you got to wonder, well, how long did Pittsburgh leave their first team offense or defense out there if they did it all? And again, this is going to kind of, you got the sense from William Cohen being negotiated between him and Mike Tomlin to some degree. Hey, what are you thinking about playing your starters? I'll play them a series, 2 series, whatever. And they'll try to sync that up to play good on good a little bit. At least that would be beneficial, I think, to both teams, to get the better test for when you got your ones out there. Today, interesting numbers right now. Exactly 50% say defensive tackle is the most concerning position group out of the ones we listed. Exactly 25% going interior offensive line, exactly 19% on offensive tackle, and exactly 6% at safety. Usually you get these broken down a little bit beyond that, and I'm sure they will as we get more votes in here. But which of those position groups has you most concerned for the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars? D-tackle, interior O-line, offensive tackle, or safety? You can vote at MD_1010XL. Your Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day. Straight ahead, Jamal St. Channel 4 out there at every Jaguar practice will give us his observations on the latest from your Jaguars here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today
from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. He's our big hitter.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus.
He tackles Jags talk from a middle linebacker's point of view. Fridays on 1010XL. Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway Sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on Jaguars Today. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, your long-term solution for weight loss.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Looking for your new favorite hangout this football season? Try Voodoo Brewing Company in the heart of San Marco. Locally owned and community focused, Voodoo Brewing serves up award-winning beers, scratch-made upscale pub fare, and laid-back vibes where everyone's welcome. For live music, trivia nights, and all the football action this season, make Voodoo Brewing Company Jacksonville your new favorite spot on San Marco Square.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins. Fighting for your rights since 1975.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
You're amused?
Well, it's the first opportunity for Dylan to play this for him. He's been in with me a couple times while you were out.
Yes.
You know,
He means Jamal St.
Yeah, over the course of the summer, and he was asked about what do you want.
Is this
kinda
his walk-up
like
song?
your walk-up music, yeah.
Okay.
He mentioned this, yeah.
Dylan, educate me. What are we hearing? Young Jeezy.
That's a little Young Jeezy.
Come on, man. Sorry, Jamal, man. I don't know Young Jeezy, man. I don't roll like that.
Come
now
on,
I do.
Standing ovation. That's classic.
Now I do. Oh, classic
That's
Young
motivation.
Jeezy.
Come on.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know classic Young Jeezy. I don't know bargain basement Young Jeezy. I don't know any level of Young Jeezy, but I strive to learn and broaden my horizons, my man. So good morning to you. How are you? Everything good?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We're okay. You know, I guess we're doing better than the offense did yesterday for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, it's tough not to do better than that.
Right? I mean, so, and they basically, that was like one you crumple up and you toss away. Did they have a bounce back performance today, in your opinion?
Oh, yeah. Look, yesterday was about as low and frustrating of a day as they've had so far. I mean, it's not often you see a coach in practice on a botched play, but Quentin Morris comes across in motion. The motion was botched. The snap was fumbled. And it looks like the frustration just got there, and they were like, let's just get off the field. Let's just get off the field, guys, and let's move on with life. But they came back today and really bounced back. I think it was a good day for the offense, a good day for the defense. A lot of good work out there. I'd say much, much better day for the Jaguars offense today.
Where in your mind do the battles for left and right guard stand right now?
You know, that one's an interesting one. I think right now, I thought right guard was pretty locked in, but I don't know if it's the back spasms with Makari, but they rotated him out with Chuma Edoga hanging out with the first group today. So that Orr is a pretty strong Orr, it looks like, over there on the right side. Where as opposed to Ezra Cleveland, who, as of yet, looks like he's going to lock himself in. And that was the job I thought going into camp was the one that might be up for grabs.
Yeah, I think everybody felt like that might be the one to watch, right? With Milam being a relatively high draft pick, and obviously they'd want him to get on the field sooner rather than later. But I think what happened, Makari's injury, Jamal, opened the door, but Chuma Edoga didn't just occupy the space. You know, from everyone I talked to, they've been super impressed because, you know, he's a guy who's really a tackle, and he had been playing left tackle to open things up, and now switching to right guard. They were impressed with his mental acuity, his footwork, all those things. So, I don't think it's just a case of Makari's been absent. I think Edoga's taken advantage of it, it sounds like.
Yeah, look, he's a pro's pro. I mean, he's out there and been doing his thing. And as for, like, Ezra Cleveland, I think he's been playing well, too. But I think Wyatt Milam has a little bit of the rookie bumps along the way, you know. I mean, he's been looking up at the sun a time or two, maybe a little bit more than you'd like. So I think there's those mistakes. Before camp started during the offseason, talked to the O-line coach, and he said he was like a bull in a china shop. And he meant that because, you know, on tackle, you got all this space for activities. Well, you go inside the guard, you're playing in a phone booth. So he's still learning how to play and operate with a whole lot less space.
We got the first full experience of Travis Hunter to whatever degree that's going to be, with him playing offense and defense really at the scrimmage on Friday. He's been wearing the white penny the last couple days out there at training camp practice as well. So it does feel like that's now going to be in full effect from here going forward for Travis Hunter. What are your just general thoughts on how that's looked the few days you've been able to see it, where they really are working him hard on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, they've been making him work. I mean, even today was the first time I've seen him take DB one-on-ones, and he was matching up with De'Ami Brown and trying to get a little work out there. So they've been making him do a lot of stuff. I think that's the life that Travis Hunter wants, and that's what the vision they see for him. So that he wears that teal jersey, puts a white penny on top of it, and he's over there rolling with the defense. The only thing we haven't seen is him run with the first-team defense just yet.
Right.
But, I mean, it's tough when a lot of times they're going first-team versus first-team, and they want to see him with that first-team offense too. So they got to find a way to balance that. But I'd like to see him get a rep or two along the way with that first-team offense or first-team defense.
Jamal, today, and among other positions, we're asking how much people are concerned with defensive tackle. And, you know, Eric Armstead is kind of open-ended now. When is he going to be ready? And Mason Smith, when is he going to be ready to at least participate in team portions of practice at training camp? Austin Johnson, who just got here, may have a pretty significant role in the short term, at least. What is your concern level for this group? And you can roll in Devon Hamilton there at nose and the options that they have there as well.
Man, look, I think if there's a weak spot on the defense right now, the weakest one has to be defensive tackle. Injuries play a role in that. Like, I'm high on what I think Mason Smith can be in year two if he can get healthy, but right now he's not. Eric Armstead, you can believe whether he's going to have a bounce back year on the interior if you want, but in order to do that, he's got to be healthy, which right now he's not. So you got two of your guys that probably were going to play really big roles for you that are banged up. You got Devon Hamilton, who we've been saying feels like forever at this point, that if he can get back to where he was before the injury, the D-line will be fine. So the question is he finally back to that? We'll have to wait and see on that. Jordan Jefferson's looks pretty solid for what he's going to do as maybe a rotational guy that swaps out with Devon Hamilton. And I like when they've put Smoot inside at defensive tackle to give him a little bit more pass rush juice there in those passing situations. So I think Smoot will be able to give you a little bit of a boost because he's looked really good there. But you still got to find a body who can give you something there. If that's getting Mason healthy, if that's getting Eric healthy, whoever it is, they got to get something there to get them a little bit of boost at defensive tackle. The concern level is pretty high.
I think we all want somebody in our life who props us up the way Josh Hines-Allen does with Devon Hamilton, right? The things he says about him, right? I mean, best nose in the league. He said to Hayes Carline the other day that he's been dominant in camp. Has that, we all know it's got to carry over to the regular season, but have you noticed Hamilton, has he stood out to you on occasion for his play?
Yeah, look, I think Devon Hamilton had a sack today. So he makes plays out there on the practice field, and he's doing good things, but it's just one of those things where I feel like before we've said that during training camp where, oh, man, he looks explosive, and we think he's going to be back, and then you get into the game reps, and it's not quite as dominant as you need. So I think there's still something that has to trigger once the games get back for this guy. And look, we saw it before the injury where he was playing in that upper echelon nose in the league. So it's not that he can't do it. It's just we got to see him get back to that level, and they really need him to because he's the guy on that defensive line that has that body type. They really don't have another guy that's built like a nose in that defensive tackle rotation.
If you had to guess today, and you do because that's what I'm asking, who starts at safety against Carolina?
Right now it looks like it's going to be Dewey and Murray. One of the surprises for me on the depth chart was that or next to Murray's name because I have seen nothing that would make me say Eric Murray or anybody else. It's Eric Murray and who. So right now it looks like it's going to be Dewey Wingard, but look, it could be somebody else could usurp him over the next couple of weeks before they get to Carolina. Antonio Johnson ended up with an interception today. Darnell Savage has had a pretty solid camp. So I think there's a lot of competition for who ends up in that spot. I think there's a lot of competition at safety, period. There's going to be a tough cut there because there's also the question mark of, how healthy is Ransaw and how does he equate in whatever happens when they get to trimming the roster? Like, is he maybe an early season injury reserve guy? Or if he's healthy enough to be on the 53, that just makes what you got to do at safety that much tougher.
Yeah, week to week, it's hard to know, right? I mean, when that's the designation. Maybe next week, maybe a couple of weeks from now, we still have over 4 full weeks before the Jags kick this thing off. I wondered, Jamal, if the or designation with Eric Murray and Darnell Savage wasn't a little bit of veteran deference, like Savage has played a bunch of football in this league, and he deserves that on the depth chart because that's a guy people speculate might not even be on the roster, right? Like it runs the gamut from could he push for a starting position to maybe the numbers game catches up with him. Do you think he will be part of this football team this year?
Look, honestly, if he doesn't win the starting job, I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think you can make an argument for, I can sit here and tell you, okay, if Dewey's not a starter, he's a big special teamer for you.
Right.
If Antonio Johnson's not a starter, he's a big special teamer for you. If Daniel Thomas makes the roster, it's because of special teams. If Rayon Lane makes the roster, it's because of special teams. I'm not going to say that about Savage. So I think there's these other guys in this room bring a whole lot of value in places that aren't defense, as opposed to if Darnell Savage isn't a starter for you, he's not bringing a whole lot.
What do you feel like you can say you have learned about this team so far through camp?
Learned about this team. I think this offense is going to be creative. I really like what they have. I think some of these rookies, you can see the vision with Tootin, man. When he's been out there, he sticks his foot in the ground, and, I mean, he's made some of these linebackers miss, and I'm sitting there like, these guys got to get some ankle braces on or something if you're going to try and tackle him. I think Travis Hunter's really good. He just looks like a smooth athlete. Health is the only question mark with him because he's not necessarily the biggest guy. Look, I think this team, if the defensive line and the offensive line can hold up, which I feel like you can probably say about most teams, I think they're going to be pretty good because they have a whole lot of talent out there. I mean, there's some guys down the 53 that have been out here having, like, absolutely great camps. So I think this team has more talent than what we saw. And I feel like a lot of us that watched the team last year said, man, they're more talented than that record. But you are what your record is. But now I feel like the pieces are really coming together. This is one of the better, cleaner camps I've seen from them, especially on offense, man. This offense just looks fun.
Now, let's hope it continues, right? And I do notice what you noticed with Bajal Tootin, right? Once practice, maybe twice a practice, he gets somebody in space and makes him look a little bit silly. He's got tremendous quickness. He's so low to the ground. He can make those sharp cuts. But, Jamal, there are so many backs that they praise all these guys, right? And most NFL teams don't have more than 3 tailbacks. They've got 5 that they profess their love for. So you tell me, it's week 1 versus Carolina. How many running backs are on this 53-man roster? How many are active for game day, and who are they?
I think you have 4 on the roster.
Okay.
And I think all 4 of them are going to be active because I think you're going to have these guys participating in different ways. So the only guy right now I don't think is here is Jackson. I think he's more of a practice squad kind of guy. But I once the pads have come on, Jackson shined a little bit too in a different way. But look, I think you got Tank and Travis who are going to split the workload at running back. I think Tank's going to have more carries. But Travis, if you add in touches, so things like those little short passes and stuff like that won't be far from that same probably touch number. So maybe somewhere around 10 or 12 touches for both of them by the time the game's all said and done. I think Tootin is going to be in that conversation to be kickoff returning. So I think he's going to probably be back there with Parker when it's all said and done, because with Tank getting the extra work, I don't know that they're going to be wanting to stick him back there as your kickoff returner. And I think LaQuint Allen's going to play on offense. I think in passing situations, I think this guy's going to be in there. He is a good pass blocker that's shown up throughout camp as they've done drills. He's a better runner than I gave him credit for, and he's a good pass catcher. He looks comfortable catching passes out there, and that's something that, I mean, the Jaguars running backs have struggled with over the years. We've seen Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne both drop passes here and there, where that's LaQuint Allen's strength. So I think he's going to be a guy who has like a third down passing situation kind of role on this football team.
The perspective on these kind of questions is obviously limited by we don't know what's being called for who and when, right? When they're out there, we're just kind of watching the plays happen. But where do you feel like Trevor Lawrence is in his development within this new offensive scheme?
I think he's getting more comfortable by the day. So far, we've seen, a couple interceptions from him. I think we're at 3 now. One was tipped at the line. One was a throw that Liam Cohen legitimately said he should have thrown away, but he tried to force it. And then the one yesterday was a bad read. I mean, he tried to force it into a situation, and also a fantastic play from Jordan Lewis to dive in there and make that interception. So you kind of got to give it both ways there, right? But overall, the thing is he has to get them into the right call in the right situation. So when we go out there and we start saying, like today, the first team offense had a really good day, a lot of that is because Trevor's adjusting the play at the line. I mean, he's in control. So he has to be able to go there, get the call, and then get the offense into the right look. So this is far more control of this offense at the line of scrimmage than what he's had previously under Doug Peterson or even when Urban Meyer was here. So now it's really all on Trevor. So I think he's getting more comfortable by the day. It's time on task. I was talking to Parker Washington today, and he says he can see, the confidence growing in Trevor in the playbook where you can see it as everybody's just growing and getting more comfortable, more time on task with that playbook. You start to see it before it happens. So now you already know what you need to do, where you need to go. It's not a think about it kind of thing anymore. And I think the longer he gets there, the longer he has in this offense, the quicker he'll get there. And by the end of the season, hopefully it'll be like second nature to where it's really off and rolling, and that's when you want him to be really hitting that stride.
Yeah, and if Parker Washington keeps making plays for Trevor Lawrence, that'll make things a lot easier, too. Had a nice practice.
Man, come
again,
on.
Right?
He made a catch today. I don't know if you
I was there.
Man,
you're talking about
that one? Coach
45-yarder? Absolutely, bro.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
And he split Dewey and Tyson Campbell. Great. I thought the protection was good. So it wasn't one of those, might have been a sack at the because I was watching for that. Protection was good. Good ball from Trevor. Great play to attack the ball from Parker Washington. And, got them hyped up. I mean, it was like the second play in team, so they were ready to roll, man. No doubt about it. Jamal St. Cyr. By the way, people, can we get him over 12,000 Twitter followers by the end of the day? I mean, Jamal just crushes it on Twitter. It's almost like you're there. He's telling you play by play what's happening when he's allowed to pass that information along. Does a great job as sports anchor at WJXT Channel 4 here in town, and occasionally filling in here on Jaguars Today as well. You'll find Jamal at J St. Cyr TV on Twitter. The 11,900 plus already know that, Jamal, and they're the smart ones, but the rest of them can follow along. We always appreciate you hopping on, man. Way to break it down, and look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow again.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Literally anytime. We'll get you educated on Young Jeezy's disc catalog if you keep bringing me on.
Good luck to you, Jamal.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You can try. I'm willing. I just don't know if the mind is as supple as it used to be, my man. But Jamal St. Cyr does a great job covering your Jaguars. Happy to have him on here today on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it, I guarantee it.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on them.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach Pontoon Boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Yeah, it's another piece of the puzzle. So different environment, going up against different competition. I think this stuff is valuable, that stuff is valuable, but it's just another piece of it.
Grant Udinski, Jaguars offense coordinator, does step in the process, Tony, Saturday night. It all goes into the evaluation bucket as we build towards, it's 4.5 weeks away, Carolina Panthers. Coming to get that A smacked, I hope. I certainly hope, man. They're all important, but please, God, don't lose that one.
Yeah.
To open up 1-0 versus Carolina, allow us to dream. Cincinnati, who knows? Trey Hendrickson playing at that point, maybe. What kind of shape is he in? That defense suspect anyway. Let's beat him in a 41-39 shootout week 2.
Works for me.
And then we'll worry about the rest of the season at that point in time. So we have just about guaranteed you a 2-0 start. We have no say over it whatsoever. All right, so you'll hear from Grant Udinski. He spoke after practice throughout the course of the day here on 1010XL, on Primetime, on Helmets and Heels, Frangie Show, what have you. We want to hear a few more thoughts from the head coach, Liam Cohen, speaking yesterday specifically about his offensive line. People have said, Wyatt Milam played tackle in college, didn't give up any sacks. And yes, he was a easily projectable guard. No doubt about it.
In this draft, yeah.
Absolutely, right? But we finally have started to see Wyatt Milam being moved around the offensive line. And what does Liam Cohen make of this? And, is this part of that plan to just figure out what combinations fit best?
You guys have kind of seen it since the spring. It's kind of our philosophy is moving guys around. We did it the other night as well. That's something that I thought we did a nice job in L.A. when, Aaron Cromer was our offensive line coach. It was constant moving guys around. You ultimately want to make sure you set your groups as close to game as you can to have the time, right? Like where you can have a little bit more time to work. But it's great because you just don't know, especially at the O-line guys, right? It's when you don't have depth or guys have experience playing specific positions and a pinch happens, it is the worst feeling in the world. And so I went through it in 2022 and we had 13 different starting O-lines, which was an NFL record, not a record you want to be known for. Yeah. So since that, we have just really tried to make such a conscious effort of adding depth in there while also cross-training.
Yeah, that's why everyone plays everywhere, right on the offensive line, because he dealt with the terror season along the offensive line. And
I understand that. You got to have guys ready and have that flexibility. What I would like is to have a really good 5 that, that if they stay healthy, I want them to excel at the one position they're going to be playing.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just, I can do all these pretty good, and I have the ability to do that. All that's well and good. You're only going to have 5 guys out there. Hopefully they do stay healthy and you don't have that kind of nightmare season like that. And what is the top end capability of what this line is? Okay, great. We have flexibility. We're not going to drop off that much if we have 1 or 2 injuries, but drop off from what?
Yeah.
What level of play are you able to achieve?
Well, and along those kind of lines, Walker Little is a player that since he was drafted here in Jacksonville has been moved around all the time. Right, in the preseason, he's been a left tackle and right tackle and guard. Like, he's been moved at a bunch of different spots, but going into 2025, he's the left tackle. And that's where they're playing him at this point in time. And Coach was asked about Walker Little, saying that he's a mainstay, at least right now, at that left tackle spot for him.
His run blocking has improved, I think, a lot since last year. Coming off the rock, finishing better. I think he'll also be, the first one to tell you he's got to, work a little bit more on some of the pass pro in terms of just, timing up his hands, using his length, to his to his best abilities, because he does have some length. He's a long dude that is athletic as well. So needs to continue to improve. But I've been pleased with, like you mentioned, some of the consistencies, and those guys had been. I thought today was probably our worst day in a while up front in some ways, or just as an offense executing the run game. But in some of the pass protection, I was not pleased with as a group, whether it was the ball not coming out on time, not getting open on time, or not protecting well enough. But I think they, had been playing with some confidence as well.
Well, I felt like that was let's find a way to, what can we say, good? Well, he's been doing some good things in the run game. He's got some work to do.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we want to run the ball. It's all important. But, I'm sorry, Tank, if you get blown up because Walker Little missed his block, all right, live to fight another down. If 16 gets blown up because the blind side collapsed, that's your season, maybe.
And I listened to, in-house here, I listen to Leon when he talks offensive line, especially the tackle position. And I hear Leon over and over here these last few weeks, and basically to this point in Walker Little's career, saying it's the same things keep popping up over and over with Walker Little. And something needs to change. In the way that he's getting himself into his pass set, something needs to change. I don't know what that is. I'm not an offensive lineman. I'm not a pro on any of this stuff, but I'm listening to a guy that is as achieved as Leon Searcy is in that kind of spot, saying it's the same thing over and over. Someone's got to get it in his head that this has to change. Whatever is going on with him to this point, it just hasn't yet. I think he's got the physical talent to do whatever. It just hadn't all been put together for him.
Quick thought from Walker Little. Rick Ballou spoke with him after practice yesterday about where he feels the offensive line is at the moment.
I think we're doing a really good job. We've really been putting an emphasis on running the ball this year. Just taking pressure off the quarterback and getting the run game going. To be a successful team, you got to be able to run the ball. So I think we're doing a really good job of that so far this camp, and we just got to keep working.
I hope he's right? I hope it's not my head's buried in the sand. Everyone's positive. Don't forget Devon Hamilton's the best nose in the league. Like, everything is great. Doing a really good job and running the ball. Okay, well, your coach acknowledged that. What about protecting the quarterback? Time will tell. Pittsburgh, even if Pittsburgh's not playing their A guys, especially if they're not playing their A guys, you better be able to protect number 16. All right, got to take a time out here. Come back with a look at the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, talking about position groups of concern. And we'll do that on the other side as we wrap things up on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. It's Renewal by Anderson's triple savings month. Get $300 off windows and $825 off patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
It's a Weight Loss Wednesday on 1010XL. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Hey,
Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 Weight Loss, went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 Weight Loss Maintenance Program. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, it's Brent with our Cosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Our Cosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right. It wasn't too bad out there today. And speaking of cooling down for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's funny, Jack Kaiser talking to him yesterday at 8:30. It's like that humidity don't sleep. It is up and ready to go.
Well, yeah, even for around here, the last 2 weeks before the last couple days has been crazy hot.
Yeah.
Like, it's been nuts.
I got my 5.5 miles in yesterday. It was like I was swimming.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like underwater. But hey,
I kept waiting on the afternoon storms to come back around. They finally have.
Oh, they came back around.
And what do you know? The temperature goes down by about 5 degrees.
Big time.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Just bring us the rain. We need the rain. Bring it on.
Man, wait till I'm done with my walk, though, please.
Dylan wants it. Just wait till after practice.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. Got to get that practice in. Would you, if you get a big, obviously you got to get them off the field if it's lightning and stuff like that. Do you?
Yeah, within 10 miles.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a detector that goes off like on a golf course?
No, we just look at our phone.
Kind of eyeball it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We go, hey, lightning's within 9.9, 9.7. All right,
mine says 10.1. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue on. All right. Let's get to today's 10-10 take. Dylan Denmark.
10-10
take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
Not surprised at all, again, with the percentage of vote going to defensive tackle as the leading position here that you're most concerned about out of the groups that we gave you the option to vote on today. Defensive tackle, interior offensive line, offensive tackle, and safety, Tony. And I think, who's to say how we would feel about it if Eric Armstead and or Mason Smith have been practicing, but they're not. And, I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm cautiously optimistic that Mason Smith is going to turn into a pretty good player in the National Football League. I don't know. Is Eric Armstead going to have that turn back the clock season this year now that he's focusing on that position as opposed to playing on the outside? Perhaps. But it's hard to know what you're going to get when you feel like the guy they just signed off the street is going to play a lot of reps on Saturday night in Austin Johnson. So I think defensive tackle, I would agree, is concerning. And if you're going to pick one out of these, it's the most concerning. If we had just put offensive line in its entirety, that would have been giving it a run for its money because the percentages are somewhere in that neighborhood. 48.5% going with defensive tackle. I, again, am more concerned with the offensive tackles than I am the interior of the offensive line. I just think I think you can game it up a little bit, and I think they've got enough veterans that have played pretty decent football on the interior of the offensive line that if Hainsey, he's a big key. If he can hold down that center position, because he is the guy they drafted to replace last year in Tampa, if he can do a good job, not just an adequate job. I guess adequate is not getting blown up every play, but I think they'll come up with a combination of guards from the options they have that will be satisfied with if they stay healthy. I think it's the bigger concern is those edge rushers going against Walker Little and Anton Harrison, at least for me.
Yeah, I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show as we were reacting to all the Armstead news, basically as it was coming out yesterday. And I'm trying to take myself back to where I was at the beginning of the offseason. But I think in my head, before they did anything in this offseason, that interior defensive line and offensive line in my head were generally close as far as how big my level of concern was for those two position groups going into the offseason. They've at least tried to answer the question on the offensive line, on the interior, right? I don't know how good the answers are that they brought in. We won't know till we get them all out on the field, but I've watched them put in the effort to do something about it. My comfort level with Armstead and Mason Smith has never been all that high as the two guys to rely on going into this season. I wanted them to address it somehow. They chose not to. That's the direction they chose to go. And the news yesterday just kind of heightened it for everybody.
Open-ended
right?
on
Like
Armstead.
for me, it just kind of reopened it.
Yeah.
I've never been comfortable with where they were at that position. Even if Armstead and Mason Smith were healthy, I would have loved to have seen them just tearing camp up. That hasn't been the case. So, yeah, I mean, it's defensive tackle pretty easy for me.
See, I think, though, if they were healthy, I wouldn't feel that way.
I get it.
That's my opinion of it. I still think offensive tackle would rise to the top, but they're not, obviously. And just because they get cleared at a certain point, are they in game shape?
Doesn't mean it's
right?
answered.
How
Right,
much can
yeah.
they play? And so they're because of that, it is the bigger concern. I grant you that, but I do feel like if you told me right now that by middle of next week, and I don't think this will be the case,
right.
Particularly with Armstead, that Armstead and Mason Smith will be fully ready to practice and ready to go, and they'll still have 3.5 weeks to go before the start of the season, my concern would shift there to hone in a little
Fair.
bit more.
Mine
on
probably
Little
wouldn't,
and
but I can
Harrison.
understand why yours would. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of offensive linemen, let's bring in one of the best in Jaguar history.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Leon Searcy here with us. Big Sirs, how are you?
How you doing, gentlemen?
We're doing quite well. Thank you very much.
Awesome to hear.
Look, if football just comes down quite often just to blocking and tackling, right? I mean, if you can't,
Yeah, we make it difficult.
If you can't keep them off your quarterback, you can have all these fancy pieces and all that. And what good does it do you? And if you can't stop the run, how good of edge rushers you have don't matter nearly as much.
It doesn't. I mean, it's just man on man. It's if your man doesn't win, we win. It's individual fights across the line, and you've got to win more than you lose. It's simple as that. We complicate it.
Let me ask you this. As an offensive lineman, I know you hone in, and you've been critical, and I don't think unfairly at all, but which offensive lineman have you been happiest with so far throughout camp?
Oh, the right guard, Odogo.
Odoga, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's been the more consistent guy. I think Ezra early on in camp, he was pretty good when the start of camp, but I think moving him at right guard, I think he's solid, he's physical, he doesn't make a lot of errors. Not the biggest of guys, but it doesn't matter. Can you block the guy in front of you? I think from what I've seen in practice and scrimmage, he's probably my favorite right now. And I noticed that McCaffrey was out there today, and he wasn't starting.
Right. Well, and part of it, he's just coming back from the back spasms. But no, I look, we talked about it earlier. I don't think it's just a case of he was absent, we're going to get somebody else in. I think Odoga took advantage of that. And,
absolutely.
I would go out, and I was told repeatedly Odoga's been the most impressive offensive lineman to certain people in the organization. I think Ezra's done a pretty nice job, though.
Yeah, he
as
has.
well.
He has. I'm not worried about the interior.
I'm not either. Not to the same degree as I am those tackles, man. What's coming up today on primetime?
Well, we've got practice. Jaguar practice.
There you go.
All day, all
What
day.
better, right?
Exactly.
We got one major league team in town. Let's focus in. I mean, it's getting close, bro.
Exactly.
All right, Leon, have a great show today. I always appreciate Leon Searcy stopping by. XL Primetime coming your way with Joe C. and Matt Hayes. joining Big Sirs, Tony, and we march on.
Yeah.
Another practice tomorrow. I doubt they'll be in pads tomorrow. 2 consecutive days in pads, and they got the game on Saturday. So
yeah,
we'll see what it looks like out there tomorrow. But nice to hear that Jamal St. Cyr, who was out there longer than I was able to be today, felt like it was a nice bounce back day, which kind of reflected what I saw early in the team portion of practice for the offense, making some plays. They needed it, and hopefully both sides, and plus special teams. I think we just assume special teams is going to show up and do their job because we got really good players at those spots. All right, that'll do it for us today. Thanks again to Jamal St. Cyr from Channel 4. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Please do stick around for XL Primetime next on 1010XL and 92.